Jurnee Bell, and welcome back to another episode of It's Raining Cats and Dogs podcast.
Woof, 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 woof. Meow, meow.
Today we have a very special meteorologist, Miss, can I get a drum roll please? Lincoln Bell! Hello, we are so excited to have you here.
I'm pleased to be here.
Pleased to meet you. Okay, well Lincoln, should we go ahead and kick it off with our first question?
Of course.
Okay, what made you want to become a meteorologist and how did you start your career?
You know, it's such a crazy story. One day I was in a vacation with my family and we were in Jamaica and it was raining so heavily. I mean, I guess you could say it was raining cats and dogs.
Meow, meow.
No punchline intended. You know what I mean? And I just had to do my research on this because it was so interesting, yet it was so scary. So I did my research and I researched and I researched and I researched. And I was like, well, why not become a meteorologist?
Yes.
You know what I mean? So after that, my parents, they found some weather camps for me during the summer. And I attended every single class. I was so determined. And I was just never, ever going to stop. And that's why I'm here right now today. And, you know, it was just absolutely amazing. And I also think that it helped with my mental being because, you know, just knowing that I'm helping someone out there and knowing that I potentially saved lives by weather, extreme weather, it's just absolutely crazy.
Yeah, that is beautiful, Lincoln. You have a heart of gold.
Oh, thank you.
And I think it's so important to keep in touch with your mental health, especially in this day and age.
It is.
Okay, let's move on now. Can you describe some of the tools you use to help analyze the weather?
I use a satellite.
What is a satellite exactly for those of us who don't know?
A satellite is a device that travels to space and it takes a screenshot of the Earth and it helps us predict the weather.
Wow, that is so cool. I mean, people back then were not even able to see what space looks like. And now we have literal tools going up there to show us and so we can monitor what it looks like up in space.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crazy because if I went back in the old days to go tell someone that I could take a screenshot of the Earth to predict weather, they would totally not believe me.
Insane. Well, Miss Lincoln, what advice would you give to somebody who wants to be safe and be prepared for a hurricane?
You know, the best advice I can give is to stay indoors at all times. A hurricane is just super dangerous and you always want to stay indoors. But if you have something urgent to do or something that you need to take care of, I would recommend going outside but staying out of the water for as long as you possibly can. I mean, imagine what that could do. I mean, after 6 inches of water, you get swooped right off of your feet.
Yeah, we definitely don't want to get swooped right off of our feet, do we?
We don't.
Okay, moving on. Next question is, we were going to ask you, what is the most exciting and interesting part of all of this as your career?
I have to say the most interesting thing of a hurricane that I saw is how long they can go. You know what I mean? Like Hurricane Katrina, for example, it stretched out to 4 states: Missouri, New Orleans, Florida, and Alabama. Isn't that absolutely insane?
Yes, that is insane. And it's so tragic to me because all of that went all that far. I mean, I just feel so bad for the family members who had to deal with all that, you know? And it's like they're still trying to build up their foundation to this day.
Yeah, they're still building up what was damaged in New Orleans to this day, right now.
How can kids help?
Well, you know what? That is an amazing question. A way that kids can help is they can make first aid kits just in case anyone gets hurt. They can help prepare by putting beans in a bag and putting it outside the door so the house has a stronger foundation so it won't just fly away immediately.
Wow, Lincoln, that is amazing. That is just an amazing way to get youth to be in touch with, you know, hurricanes and stuff, because we love helping when it comes to, you know, sad things like that, as much as I don't want to say this.
Well, you know what they say, the new generation has to be trained.
Yep. Well, what is the early warning of a hurricane approaching?
Well, sometimes the weather can get a little foggy. It can start to rain, heavy rainfalls, just like that time in Jamaica. It can really have thunder, or the ocean water could start splashing around, making like...
Wow, that's really cool, actually, Lincoln.
Oh my.
Thank you, Lincoln. What are the biggest hurricanes that have ever happened?
Well, off the top of my mind, I can easily name Hurricane Katrina. I mean, Hurricane Katrina, it was just so sad and so tragic, you know.
Yeah, I feel so bad for the families who had to go through that, and they have to still build all of that.
Over and over again.
All right, moving on, Lincoln. What is the eye of a hurricane?
The eye of a hurricane is the center of the hurricane. Basically, the center of the hurricane, you can't get hit by anything because the air rotates around the eye. So it's basically like a hole in the blink. You get what I mean?
Yeah. Well, let's wrap it up with our final question. Is this eye of a hurricane safe?
Well, yeah, the eye of a hurricane is safe, but the eye walls are one of the most dangerous parts of the hurricane. I mean, as sad as it is to say, if you try to make it in the eye of a hurricane, it's not going to work out good for you.
Well, it was nice having you, Lincoln. I'm so glad you could join us. I'm sure, you could be here forevermore if we wanted you to.
Well, I wish I could, but I'm just so busy lately, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's beautiful. Okay, folks, it's raining cats and dogs, and I'm just trying to stay above the fur. Until next time, tune in with your daily weather.